Back now at 7:40 with an unusual look at the GOP presidential field. Each of the candidates hoping to defeat President Obama, move into 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But what can you tell them, about their current homes? We've got today real estate contributor Barbara Corcoran. She's here with an inside look. Barbara, good morning.
Good morning. We're doing some snooping today.
We are. This is something that you read about in the New York Times Magazine. It gave you this idea, but really, what can we learn about people from their homes?
You could learn a lot. You can learn from all of these people running that they're all very, very rich. But when you actually look at the homes, they reflect the individual's personalities. And I think you're going to get a kick out of seeing how different they are.
Okay, so let's start with the man to beat, Mitt Romney, who's obviously won in Iowa and New Hampshire and is looking good looking into South Carolina. He's giving you a lot to chew on if you want to look at his homes, because he's got 6. Now, what might they tell us?
Well, the first home we're going to look at is his lakeside compound, which is worth $10 million just for this one home. It has a main house, a boathouse, a guest house, and it's the kind of house that I could just picture the Romneys baking apple pie, but I doubt whether they have the time for that. But everything about this house says, I have arrived. And I am important, and I'm tasteful.
Well, we're looking at some images there inside the kitchen. It looks like a great kitchen. Big family, so big family houses.
Big family house.
All right, let's move on to Ron Paul. He's got a very different home. His home is in Lake Jackson, Texas. That's about an hour outside of Houston. And it's a 4-bedroom. He's trying to sell it for, what, $325,000. What does this house say?
This message on this house is, look at me, I'm just a regular guy. It's a typical ranch from the outside, but it's actually a huge house when you get inside. It's 5,500 square feet, but it ain't fancy. It's got 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, an in-ground pool, and he's trying to sell this house online by himself. Why does this guy have this time? He mustn't be a very good delegator in my mind. And it's overpriced at $325 because it was appraised at $282. And the next time he takes those shots, he ought to get a new umbrella, some new lawn chairs, and clean the place up a little bit.
Oh my goodness, you're going to get a call from him, I think, pretty soon. Okay, now we've got John Huntsman, who's got the former Utah governor. He now lives in D.C., and he's got a brownstone, right, essentially, a beautiful brownstone.
A mansion
townhouse, one might say. And yeah, look at that. It's actually pretty large, and it's got apparently a lot of art.
It has a lot of art, a lot of formality,
looks
a
like
lot
something
of
out of
expensive furniture,
Digest.
of course. Well, this is actually his parents' compound in Deer Valley, Utah, and actually it has, believe it or not, 12 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms. It's a ski chalet, and it's on 63 acres, and it's worth about $50 million. It's actually for sale right now. And what's great about this is that when John Huntsman gets tired of living in the city, he just could go chill out on his dad's couch, somewhere of those many couches in that ski chalet.
All right, okay. Let's move on to former Speaker Newt Gingrich. He lives in McLean, Virginia, like a lot of people who live in Washington. It's a suburb of Washington. This house is also near where Dick Cheney lives, and you say he's a good real estate investor.
He certainly is. You know why? He bought that house in 1995, for 12 years ago, just about, and pardon me, he bought it 12 years ago for $995,000. Right now, it's worth so much more because he bought it in the best part of the best town where all the power brokers live. So that's a house he's always going to do well with.
All right. Rick Santorum has a house also in Virginia, and he bought it after he left the Senate in 2007, and it's in a town called Great Falls. Sounds like a nice name.
It's not only a nice name, it's a nice investment. It's the most affluent town in America, bar no other town. So this guy has bought the top of the line. He paid $2 million, and it was recently, sadly, assessed for only $1.4 million. It has a sprawling 4 bedrooms, 5 baths. It's got a center hall colonial. But the highlight in my mind in this house is the amazing gable dormers, the 3 chimneys, the portico, and the long, long, long driveway, which says, I am rich.
Okay, all right. Then let's move on. Last but not least, let's talk about Rick Perry. He, of course, lives as a governor in the governor's mansion, but he did actually have to move during some reconstruction. So
yes,
what happened? Where did
he
he go?
and his wife had to move up the hill, and they didn't just move into any old temporary home. They moved into a 3.5 acre estate that's so secluded that no one could even get a picture of it. It's $9,900 a month. That's the governor's mansion. I mean, honestly, he's going to have a hard time moving back into that governor's mansion after he gets through with this rental. It's got more bells and whistles than any house I've ever seen, and he's temporarily living there.
While you just talked about all the differences, there are some commonalities.
Of
Briefly,
course.
what are they?
You know what they are? They're all big, they're all wealthy homes, and they're all traditional. And that says, I want to be president. It's going to be easy for them to move in the White House.
All right. Barbara Corcoran, thank you so much. A rare look,
My pleasure.
an unusual look at our presidential field from the Republican side. And just